It kind of changes everything for me. But if you're eating carbs all day long, this stuff's gonna smash you. If you're not fasted, this stuff might smash you. Or if you're not training hard enough, you're doing a slapdick 3 sets of 10 kind of workout, no intense interval training, no really training to failure style stuff, then you might not want to be doing this.
Welcome to PricePlow.
What's happening, PricePlow Nation and NutraBio fans? Mike Roberto with PricePlow here, and I'm back with a supplement review. And yes, I am talking about a real deal supplement review, NutraBio's Extreme Mass Strawberry Pastry Flavor. Now, previously on this channel, I did a tasting panel, and I downright love this stuff, but I said, hey, this is only a tasting review, not a full review. Reason being is because I said I was gonna get a constant glucose monitor and monitor what happens to my blood sugar levels with this supplement, because there are 99 grams of carbohydrates inside, alongside of, what is it, about 53 grams of protein, all fully open formula and everything as we come to expect from NutraBio, third party tested and all that. But there's a lot of maltodextrin in here, and so I didn't want to do an official review until we see how crazy things get here. Now, I've done an oral glucose tolerance test with 75 grams of carbohydrates coming from sweet tarts, mostly dextrose, but there's a dash of maltodextrin in there. But this is even more carbohydrates, and I've learned a whole lot of stuff while wearing this CGM here. And as you can see right now, we're gonna start at about 100. I don't know if you can see that. We'll make sure we're gonna see a whole chart and everything. So this has more carbohydrates than even that. And in that oral glucose tolerance test, I went up to 196, hung out there for a while, and finally came down. Never broke the 200 barrier, but my blood sugar got way high. But this is even more carbohydrates than that, and they are high insulin spiking maltodextrin carbs. However, what I'm realizing, and I've learned a ton, is that when you take a high carbohydrate source and you pair it with a protein, not necessarily a fat, because there's a lower fat, there's a little bit MCT in here, but you pair it with a protein, the blood sugar spike is way blunted. And I've learned that if nothing else, don't take naked carbs like candy if you don't want to spike your blood sugar and insulin levels. But this is a lot of maltodextrin and a good bit of protein, almost a 2-to-1 ratio. So that's what I'm interested in to see what happens, because I am in a fasted state right now, about 15 hours fasted, and I am going to use it as a pre-workout training supplement. So there's a lot of calories to throw down pre-workout, but we're going to go and train with it. So I'm going to drink about half of it right now, and then get a little bit warmed up and kind of intro workout this a little bit. That's kind of what I've been doing with some of the other carb supplements. But I'm excited to see what happens here when I just have maltodextrin with a whole bunch of good old protein, and I know it tastes good. So I got a food scale here. Allow me to weigh this out. Now, you know I love my battle shaker, but we need something bigger here. So I got the Big Dog NutraBio cup, which you need to get if you're getting extreme mass here. If you want to do 4 full servings or 4 full scoops, which is 1 full serving. And that's going to end up with 173 grams of materials, what I'm looking for, and 650 calories. So give me a second while I do that. Oh man. Michael really got that pastry part of it with the taste. There's like those graham cracker crumbs or something. Oh. And that there is 173 grams of extreme mass. You gotta watch out with all the water. Otherwise, there's no room. All right, so in case anyone's not seen the other video, I'll give you a little pour. You got a little bit of natural red coming from the beetroot extract. I'm so hungry. Carbs have thrown out my hunger so much. Oh yeah, so I forgot to mention, this month I am doing 100 grams of carbohydrates per day, trying to put it around my workout, which is what we're doing here, in an effort to see what happens to my lipids, because I have high LDL, but at the same time I have very high HDL, low triglycerides, and LDL is not a risk factor in my opinion. But the studies have shown that it's not causative of cardiovascular disease. Yeah, it's sometimes correlated with it, but not as much as you would think from the media's perspective, at least, when you have other non-risk factors such as high LDL or low triglycerides. But anyway, I'm kind of curious to see what happens with 100 carbohydrates per day. And this has 99 of them, so I'm about done carbing up after this. We are starting off at 99, and here we go. So I'm at 99. Oh, there it is. There's that pastry, graham cracker, buttery, whatever it is, taste. Man, it's gonna be hard to quit carbs after having some of these, so I'm gonna go back to a lower carb regimen. And we'll talk about that. You can subscribe to the channel to kind of hear what I've learned with this TGM and everything, but Man, Michael did such a good job with this flavor. I don't know if I can stop drinking this. I'm telling you, man. Carbohydrates. Addictive drug. I'm gonna drink most of it and then kind of just finish off the rest in a little bit. Okay, so we started with 98.9. I'm down to 98. So it usually takes about 30 minutes for these to kind of kick in. I'm not sure with the Maltodextrin though. So we are going to definitely see an uptick, but once the uptick begins, I'm going to be stretching, fix up my shoulder and everything, and then once that uptick begins, that's when it's time to train. So I'm starting to learn a few of these things here. Anyway, we'll be back. So the review, the taste review again is so positive once again, but I am concerned. I don't want my blood sugar going to 200. I want it to be like, I don't know, it's a lot of maltodextrin. I'm like even willing to accept 140 to 150, but we'll see what happens because pairing it with the proteins, I'm telling you right now, that's what you got to do with carbs. Naked carbs, So let's see what happens to all this maltodextrin and if it works out well. Otherwise, hey, this was sent for free. NutraBio is the title sponsor of our website. We do tons of content with them. But I'm not against PricePlow disapproving a supplement if I have to. If my blood sugar goes like 8 million and it just stays up there and it's too much and I can't even train it off, then I'm gonna have to disapprove of it. But I'm pretty sure that with training and with the fact that there's protein here, I'm not gonna have too much of a problem, but it's gonna go higher than a lot of these other products that I've been taking, and that's okay because it's time to trade. Push it to the limit. Folks, we are back, and this workout changes just about everything for me. Take a look at this blood sugar curve, and we'll show a zoom in. I am currently at 105. This was very interesting. I had an uptick right here that when it kicked in, and what you'll see was only a max of 116, but what happened was this. I started to rock it up to the point where the phone started buzzing me and wanted a calibration. So to calibrate, you go and get your old school blood, I have a Precision Extra right here, and prick my finger. I registered a 155. So I'm like, uh-oh, this is happening, we're in trouble. So I did get the insulin, or I did get the blood sugar spike with the maltodextrin. And so we did the calibration, and then I started to hit the cardio super hard. I wasn't doing burpee hard because I've seen that actually cause a plummet in blood sugar, but I hit the elliptical, high intensity interval training, and I was 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off, go, and then the blood sugar started going back down. And it wasn't such a scary spike, but it's to the point where I already seen that 155. I had to do another test on this guy just to see what happened, and I was already back down to 115. So what happened here, and am I scared? The answer is this: I'm fine with maltodextrin. So what I'm realizing is this blood sugar thing really isn't that hard. First off, you pair your carbohydrates with proteins. We have that here. Second, I came in fasted. And third, I trained hard. If you're not doing those things, then maybe you should have a problem with carbohydrates. I personally think that what happened was the maltodextrin started spiking fast and then the protein kicked in and it just seems to blunt it. Furthermore, high intensity interval training, and then finally, being fasted. If you have a lot of these things coming together, if you're training hard, this is a product that's called Extreme Mass. So you need to train extremely hard. If you are training legitimately, I have literally no qualms with maltodextrin. Good, cheap carbohydrate source. I mean, it kind of changes everything for me. But if you're eating carbs all day long, this stuff's gonna smash you. If you're not fasted, this stuff might smash you. Or if you're not training hard enough, if you're doing a slapdick 3 sets of 10 kind of workout, no intense interval training, no really training a failure style stuff, then you might not want to be doing this. But in general, for the NutraBio athlete who trains without compromise, or anyone who's just getting after it like crazy, I'm not afraid of maltodextrin anymore, at least if I'm coming in fasted. It's to the point now where I'm realizing this blood sugar monitor is super awesome, but I've learned that you need to be an idiot to screw this stuff up, or you really just need to not be trying, at which point maybe you should wear a blood sugar monitor, but then you'll kind of realize this doesn't need to be that difficult. And we don't need to overcomplicate some decisions. So during my workout or before my workout, do I like carbohydrates? Yeah, I indeed do. This is the time to get it. Now I've had my 100 grams of carbohydrates per day, so I am set. We are back to just going to zero carb for the rest of the day, and I might have a hankering and a craving for it, and that's what I kind of get annoyed at. But in general, working with carbohydrates isn't hard if you actually put a little bit of thought and focus into it. And if you do, then I am completely fine with a product like NutraBio's Extreme Mass, and especially because it tastes so good and it's a great deal. So in general, I honestly was like, I saw that 155 and I was like, oh, this is happening. I am going to have to disapprove this bad boy. And then my body took care of it. It's not a big deal. Come in fasted or come in and work hard, and you'll have no problem with something like maltodextrin if you have a similar body, composition like me, or if you are sensitive, or if you've just been getting after it. But if you're fat already, if you're insulin resistant already, or if you're just eating all the time, then I would not touch this stuff, because I saw what is possible if you don't go and take care of business in the gym. So with all that said, I think if you're going to take a maltodextrin, get training pretty quickly. And if you're going to take a maltodextrin, come in and don't be all sloshed down with carbs already, because then it might be adding fuel to the fire, which you might not be able to get into fat burning mode on. I think I'm fine. So this has been interesting. I am excited to say this, and it's I've trashed maltodextrin a lot in the past. It's did we really need to? No. Now, should we, for a regular person who's just eating all damn day and night long at this point? We have a 18-hour feeding window in this country at this point. Well, that kind of person shouldn't have malto. It's to the point now where this diet experiment, I've actually made it I've done it too properly. And I think I need to start dirtying things up a little bit and doing some bad stuff, because it's really not hard to keep things under control. And I'm sensitive to a lot of this stuff. So pair it with protein and get training. Come in a little bit fasted. Don't be an idiot, train hard, and Extreme Mass is awesome. Love the new flavor, Strawberry Pacer. Can't wait to see what Michael has coming out next. But we're working on so many other products. I don't know if Extreme Mass is going to get another one soon. But dude, as far as I'm concerned, I am no longer afraid of maltodextrin. So how about that? You can check out PricePlow.com/NutraBio, and we'll have a link to the blog post where we talk about this. And yeah, like I said, this changes everything, but I'm still keeping my carbs and fats away from each other. I have a feeling that if I did no protein, lots of carbs, lots of fats, that's where the problem is. And that's the junk food that we see, where there's pizza and ice cream, just not enough protein. I want to keep the ratios better, and that's what we're doing this month, but maybe I'm just doing it too good. Let's get a little dirty from now on. All right, we'll see you next time. Subscribe to the channel. This has been fun. No longer afraid of maltodextrin. If it's paired with the protein, you hit it hard. See you later.
Welcome to PricePlow.